On the news this afternoon, at least 4 children feared burnt to death as Rivers State records another fire outbreak around Creek Road area of Port Harcourt. Rivers State government threatens to seize property gutted by fire in Rumokoro. NDLEA says consumption of methamphetamine on the rise in Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, Kenya to deny services to unvaccinated people. I am Enoh Ugbeviri. At least 4 children are feared dead and others injured following a fire outbreak at Nimbe Waterside close to Creek Road Market in town axis of Port Harcourt this morning. An eyewitness spoke to correspondents.
We found out that somebody tried to start off his engine and it got ignited, and that was how this whole thing started. And for now, casualties, some people have some degree of burnt, about 3 persons so far. But for now, no life has been lost. We've not discovered anybody. But we don't know, maybe, because we are presuming, maybe, because some of these market people, they have their children and everybody in the boat.
Some of the injured are said to have been taken to the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. This morning's fire incident comes after 2 outbreaks in Port Harcourt this weekend. One happened around Kaduna Street D-Line on Saturday night. The other happened around Rumokoro on Sunday. Both fire situations were said to be caused by storage of illegally refined petroleum products. Our correspondent Marcel Kere joins me on the phone from Rivers State University Hospital this morning. Marcel, good morning. Good afternoon.
Hello, Enoh. Good afternoon.
So what do we know at this time?
Currently at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, where I was told that 2 persons were brought in from the scene of the fire at Mimbe Boni Jetty. And currently, from what I can see here, one of them is still outside. They are yet taken into the ward because his condition, from what I am seeing, is critical. He was burnt from the head down to his toe. And when I spoke to one of the people who brought the 2 persons to the hospital, he told me that a woman lost her 4 children, including a newborn, in the fire. She had left the children in the boat and had gone to look for what they would eat when the incident happened.
So you can confirm you can confirm that there are 2 people in the hospital right now that were brought in from the scene of the fire.
Yes.
Did you also see the fire service? Did they show up?
When I got to the scene of the incident, I learned that the guys at the water side were angry and they chased out fire service. But before I left there, I saw a truck of fire service coming into the place to, quench the fire. The fire has, however, been quenched. They've been able to put up the fire, and everything is calm for now. But earlier, the environment wanted to turn violent because some hoodlums started looting people's bag of fish. The Mende Boni Jetty is a place where people take goods across to Bayelsa, to Boni, and other places in River State. And then they had bags of fish and other bags of other foodstuffs. And then timber was on the floor. So boys, hoodlums started looting the place, but everywhere is calm for now because of the intervention of the Navy guys at the waterside.
All right. Thank you very much, Marcel Kiri. We'll bring you up to speed on the events around there in our subsequent bulletins. River State Commissioner for Special Duties, Emeka Enoh, says the state government will seize the land where fire incident took place at Rumokoro if the owner refuses to report to relevant authorities within 2 weeks. Mr. Enoh stated this while briefing newsmen after an assessment of the fire scene this morning.
Government is going to investigate this matter, and whoever the owner of this land is should come up and show face. If not, government will confiscate this land within 2 weeks. If you don't show up, we'll confiscate the land, and government will use this land for another project. We have been round the clock, and His Excellency has directed that we must get into the root of this matter, that we must, and report to him within 1 week. Panel has already been set up. We'll be inaugurated today by 3 p.m. And immediately after inauguration, we are giving them just 1 week to submit their report. And whoever is found wanting will go in for it legally.
He have faulted the CDC chairman and community leaders of the affected area for being accomplice in such illegal activities.
Yeah, the CDC chairman should know what is happening here. He will be invited. Because when I called, I asked, is the CDC chairman not aware of what is happening here? The president of the youth, is he not aware? You say you're a CDC chairman of a community, but I can categorically say it and without any iota of reservation that I am very, very optimistic that he has a hand in it. Why? Maybe they are giving him returns to the detriment of the community now, to the detriment of Rumokoro people, to the detriment of Rumaholo people.
On his part, Director, River State Fire Service John Chukwumartin urged residents to always call the service immediately if there's a fire outbreak instead of resorting to self-help.
Those people that believe fire service, if they have our contact, maybe when there's fire outbreak, they feel they can do it themselves. Until when the fire is out of control, beyond their strength, that's when they will call fire service. That will come out, maybe fire has been engulfed all over. So we start from the beginning to know how to put it under control. So that's the problem we're having with the matches. Let them try to be calling us each time there's any fire outbreak. More about that expense. They can reach me through my number 0803 7744 107.
A victim of the fire incident spoke anonymously to our correspondent.
No way person go say improperty dey spoil, we feel bad. And for the fact that we don't even know that they do such thing here. As you can see now, see our generator, no one dey work. And now, especially all the AC, everything that they don't lose and nothing we dey see for here again. So the thing really affect us very well.
Meanwhile, the Society of Professional Disaster Risk Managers of Nigeria, River State chapter, is calling for an end to illegal refining in the state to curb the fire incidents recorded so far. Chairman of the organization, Abel Jeremiah, spoke to our correspondent.
Well, I do not want to sound as if I want to support or tacitly give approval to these incidences. Are you suggesting that we suggest to them now to have fire stations close to where they are doing this refining? No, I think we should stop, and the fire will stop. If there is no full fire, there won't be fire related to full fire. I won't be seen to be, suggesting that we should build fire services or recommend ways of, we should stop.
In the meantime, the Federal Fire Service in River State says it has responded to at least 24 fire outbreaks in the last 3 months. Speaking on the Morning Cross Fire, DCF Abdullahi Aldo Alpha said one of the major challenges it faces on its way to respond to fire emergencies is the citizens, as many Nigerians do not have a sense of the urgency of fire emergencies.
Most challenge we face in attending to fire is the road network. The motorists don't comply when we are on the road. We have siren. We're supposed to know that when we are on the road, anytime you see an emergency vehicle coming, fire truck coming with siren, you should know that that vehicle is going to attend to an emergency. Delay is very dangerous in attending to emergency. So some of them will park on the road, some of them will not clear way for you. By so doing, they are delaying your response times. Another thing is that some of the people, like the people around, some of them will not call us immediately. They will think they can fight the fire themselves.
He also said more firefighting equipment are expected to aid their work.
At the moment, we have 2 trucks and an ambulance. Federal government, and we are not the only firefighting organization. Office in this state. We have state fire. We have other people that we all work. We all have worked to achieve the same aim. Our office in Abuja have plans to give us more appliance. But before then, our Control General, Dr. Liman Brian, has promised us that with time he will going to give us more fire trucks.
He gave the emergency numbers as 0806 925 0435, 0806 925 0435, and 0908 875 5743, 0908 875 5743. The NDLEA in River State says there is an increase in the consumption of methamphetamine, popularly known as ice, in the state. Spokesperson for the agency, Emmanuel Ogbungbada, told correspondent Masa Okere that the NDLEA is, however, yet to discover any laboratory where the drug is produced in River State.
After the lockdown and then NSAS thing, and then we began to notice the increase in the intake of crystal meth. But before now, it was very scarce. Like 2 years ago, I don't think we ever made any arrest. And we now realize that it was flowing in from our neighboring states, Imo State and Abia State, and of course Anambra. I think we need to know that this substance is very dangerous. It is even more potent than cocaine, and the addiction rate is very high.
Emmanuel Ogungbada said meth, or ice as it's called, is easily found where illegal drugs are sold.
Almost every joint where they sell hard drugs that we have accosted, there's always methamphetamine there. What happens is it's just this demand and supply thing, where when there is demand, there will definitely be supply, or at least supply will increase when there is increase in demand. So that will happen. And of course, we are working hard to ensure that we remove them just like we do. We arrest and we investigate and charge them to court.
He also said the effect of the substance is more lethal than cocaine.
Those who are affected, you see their teeth decaying fast. You see them aging faster with bumps and pimples all over their skin, and also makes the bone softer and brittle and easy to break. And then it also has psychoactive effect, all sorts of antisocial behavior. Because the moment they take it, it creates excitement far higher than other drugs. A medical personnel described euphoria from methamphetamine as 200 times higher than the euphoria received from orgasm.
The NDLEA spokesperson also said everyone must join hands to reduce the consumption of methamphetamine. In the meantime, a student of Community Secondary School Rumapara says some senior secondary students consume methamphetamine. The student who spoke anonymously said they consume the illicit drug on school premises either before classes or at the end of a school day. The student said teachers are aware but helpless as the students become violent after consuming the drug. And 4 secondary school students of Community Secondary School Nkpolu Oroworokwo, Mile 3, will be arraigned today on charges bordering on cultism. They were arrested by officers from the Nkpolu Divisional Police Headquarters in Mile 3, Port Harcourt. The charge sheet cited by our correspondent gave their names as Uchechi Okene, Hakim Suleiman, Sunday Progress, and Nicholas Benson. The students were remanded in police custody as Chief Magistrate Philippa Dike Udena did not seek last week. In other news, a senior secondary school student of Community Secondary School Rumekini has accused his teachers and principal of extortion. The aggrieved 16-year-old student told our correspondent that students were asked to pay 7,500 naira for school uniform, 5,000 naira for picture, 2,500 naira for chairs, and 1,000 naira for plastering. He said students of CSS Rumekini who are yet to pay these levies are constantly harassed and beaten by the teachers. You're listening to the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Still ahead, APC chieftain appeals to President Buhari to honor elder statesman with release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Thanks for staying tuned. An APC chieftain, Osita Okechukwu, has appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari to honor elder statesman Mbazulike Amechi with the release of the acclaimed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Okechukwu, who is also Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, tabled the appeal while speaking with newsmen in Abuja on Sunday. He also encouraged IPOB to support a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction in 2023. In business, services at train stations have resumed nationwide as the Nigeria Railway Corporation called off the strike by the National Union of Railway Workers. In a statement on Sunday, Deputy Director and PRO of NRC, Yakubu Mahmoud, said the train services resumed on Saturday after necessary safety precautions. In entertainment, Wizkid got 3 awards at the African Music Awards on Sunday night. He bagged the African Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best African Collaboration Awards. Nigeria's Fireboy DML got the African Fans Award, while Kenya's Nikita Kering emerged top in the R&B category. Mali's Ibawan won the Album of the Year award. The awards gala was held in Lagos. In sports, Paris Saint-Germain boss Mauricio Pochettino will be open to a move to Old Trafford next summer if he leaves the French club. In one report says Zinedine Zidane, Mauricio Pochettino, Ajax boss Eric Ten Hag, Spain manager Luis Enrique, and Leicester City's Brendan Rodgers are among the candidates being considered by Manchester United. Recall that the club sacked its coach over the weekend. In international news, Kenya plans to introduce an order next month to prevent citizens who haven't been vaccinated against COVID from receiving government services. Health Minister Mutahi Kagwe said unvaccinated people will be banned from public transport, local airlines and train services. Kenyans will also require proof of vaccination in order to visit government institutions for education, immigration, tax, and other services. The directive will come into force on December 21. From tomorrow, young people over the age of 15 will be able to get a Pfizer jab. On the news this afternoon, you heard at least 4 children were burnt to death this morning as Rivers State recorded the 3rd fire outbreak in 3 days. The Rivers State consumption of methamphetamine is on the rise in Port. The news was edited by Choma Ezewafo. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. And that's our news. Thank you for listening. My name is Enoh. Good afternoon.